I love your hair, by the way.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
I'm very jealous, as you can tell. My hair is not as good as yours.
Well, you have nice hair here, so you could add some black, then you would also have the black and white style I'm going for at the moment.
Yours looks fabulous, way better than I could ever hope for in my life. So you're looking phenomenal, and you guys are
Thank
looking
you.
phenomenal as a band with a new record coming out October 25th, Galvanize. And before we talk about that record, let's talk a little bit about the process of getting into that album. Everybody always says that the sophomore record is more difficult than the debut record. Is it true for you guys?
I would absolutely agree. Yeah, I mean, for us, the first record we just wrote, we wrote it during the COVID lockdown. There was nothing else going on. We just had time to focus on ideas, let them sit, focus on new ideas. Nothing was, everything was on hold. And now doing the second record while this whole thing was rolling, it was a little hard. It was a little hard to find the time to really sit down, to get in the studio, to meet with our producers. But we had enough ideas. It was just hard to find the time to lay them down.
How does the album artwork tie into the record?
Hmm, good question. Well, the first thing is with our new look, I would say, also with like the silverish and also a little bit more of a modern approach in compared to the first record where we were more with these, we had leather and we some I think some got a little bit confused and thought we were more of like a medieval band, which we're not. So this was something we were like, okay, we want to have a clear message with this. We want our looks to to mirror the music as well, the modern metal music we aim at. And that was the same with the artwork. We wanted something that is modern, something that is special, maybe referring to me a little bit, but also just to humans having this head, the face, and yeah, this was our thoughts. We managed to work with my friend Marina Latoraka from Exit Eden. So she designed this artwork with a colleague of hers, and this is so it means so much to me to be able to work with people I know, where I can say, "Hey, these are my crazy ideas. Can you work with this?" And having no boundaries of like just vomiting everything out, every idea I have. And she was like, okay, I'm gonna organize this. I'm gonna do something.
The chains on the artwork, is that you breaking through your own personal chains a little bit, or maybe the band breaking through some of their own chains, or the chains that maybe people put on them or put on you?
Absolutely. This should also be everyone should be able to see themselves in this artwork or in this person. And the chains can be anything that were put on them from the outside environment or judgment from other people, or also chains we put on ourselves. Sometimes we think, oh, I can't do this for this or this reason, but those are just chains in our head, and we can actually break free from them if we believe in what we can do and if we really truly want to break free from this. And I really try to encourage our fans and our listeners to be stronger, to break free from things that hold them back, if it's from the outside or even from the inside. But I think we have the strength, and sometimes you just need a little bit empowerment from someone else to believe in yourself more again.
I agree with you with on that 100%. You mentioned that you guys have figured out that you're not a medieval band, so let's let's make sure everybody else figures out that we're not a medieval band. So outside of learning that experience, where do you see the biggest amount of growth and maturity within the band from the debut record now to this one?
You ask hard questions. I don't even think we think so much about that. We just try to write another great album, which we hope people will hopefully also find it's good or as good as the first one, or maybe even a little bit better. I don't know, or
Think
at
it's
least
better.
an at least an album they like to listen, and that gives them strength, and also that makes them want to see us live, because that's what it's about for us. We want to be on stages, we want to perform our songs, and we also want to grow our community, grow our league, and show the people at our concerts, and also who didn't make it to a concert yet, that we will be there and that we welcome them to the league, and that we really want to build something big.
What galvanizes you? Does the live performances, that like that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, is that what motivates you? Is that what galvanizes you?
Definitely, especially with all the planning that's going on, with all the not artistical things like social media and stuff like that. You really have just have to do. But then we have so much, like meetings about what needs to be done, and then we come together to go on stage, and we're like, okay, yeah, that's why we're doing this. Um, and for me, also, I've learned that music videos galvanize me. Being able to create my own character in a music video and to underline the lyrics and the message of a song is something I've been loving so much. And being able to work with great people for that, and knowing the result will be special, that's something I can't get enough of.
You're super excited. I can tell, like you're excited about the record. You're excited to talk about the record. That galvanizes me. So your excitement is contagious. So let me just tell you
Nice.
that. And when it comes to the records, I honestly felt like this was a more complete album from the band compared to the debut record. It just felt like you guys matured enough to understand a little bit more of what needed to be done, perhaps that wasn't there before. And one of the things that I really enjoyed about this record was that the individual songs work really well individually, but the album as a whole also works really well. So like there's a symbiosis between the individuality of the tracks and what the collective needs to offer, which I didn't necessarily see as much of it on the debut album. So when you guys came into this record, did you think about that aspect? Okay, we have to concentrate on the individual songs, but we also have to think about how are all of these going to work together under one single umbrella.
No, I'm afraid we did not think about that at all, and I'm so happy it worked out.
It's a happy accident.
Because we were like working on ideas, and then we played festivals, and then I was in Hamburg, and then we were on the road again, and then I was with our producer here, and then and putting it together. And yes, I'm so glad you say that it feels like a red line going through the album, because that's important to me. And I think, of course, it's losing on importance because some bands just release song by song, which is also totally fine. But I like the album being that when you listen to it, that you're part of a journey. And that was when I put the songs in the order, that was super important to me, to kind of build this, to even have like a growth throughout the album, having songs in that order. That was important to me, and maybe that helped it to get a red line too.
Yeah, maybe the album structure is what kind of helped bring all of these individual pieces together. So I think that's really interesting. Not having that thought process when you're making the songs and then still finding a way to make it all work. And you have a feature on the record, Cypcore, on the record, which I thought was really interesting. In our DNA, that song has a little bit of a Cypcore sound to it. So did you guys think of them and then created the song, or did you created the song and thought, man, these guys would be really perfect, like to have this combination of the two bands working on a track? How was it?
Yeah, you're actually the first one I'm going to answer the question, because you asked it this way. And the thing is that we actually wrote this song with Niels, the guitar player from Cypcore. We wrote this song a bit ago, actually. And so that's probably also where a Cypcore vibe goes, because of course Niels also writes for other artists, but still he's just the core of Cypcore. And that's why I think that's kind of his DNA in the song already. In the song, in our DNA. Wow. But but then being on tour with them, and that's where so I recorded it being it only a song sung by me. And when we were on tour with them, I was thinking, we had a feature on the first record, and I loved that. And I would have really loved to have a feature on this record too. And it was a little bit like short notice that I asked them, would they be interested in featuring this? And Dom, the singer, was like, yeah, hell yeah. And then we kind of made this possible in the last weeks before we had to we had the deadline for the master. We managed to have them record his parts. And when I heard it, it touched me so much, because the song is an important topic to me. It's like the nature versus nurture topic. And I really dived into why or how people become bad, or if people are born bad, like diving into thoughts of a psychopath. I read a lot about them. I watched videos, and that's where I try to put this in the lyrics. And singing this with a man as a duet just gives the song even more strength to me, for the song. And I really love it now.
It's one of my favorites on the record because I thought you guys nailed the duet, and I like the vocal approach that you guys took in terms of who sings what part and then how you guys come together. So I thought the song sound wise, it kind of merges both bands' DNA together, and then vocally you did exactly the same thing. So yeah, definitely one of my favorite ones. I think it's a phenomenal song.
Thank you.
You guys
Thanks.
really nailed it with that one. Now, one thing that surprised me is that this album sounded a lot heavier than what I thought coming in. Because, when you look at the artwork, when you know the background of the band, when you know the kind of sound that you guys do, I was expecting the album to be a lot more electronic. And it still has a huge electronic base, but it's a heavy sounding album. Was that something that you guys wanted the record to also be a little bit more metal, for a lack of a better word?
Yes, I would say yes, but the focus was actually on having more up-tempo songs, which is also metal in a way. So that's why I said yes to your question, because we didn't want to sound harder or meaner, or I don't know, but we focused on having more faster songs, and not only these headbang songs. We got enough of them. But songs that have a little bit more energy. And I think that is metal, to have the straightforward beat that you just want to like roar. So that was definitely something we had in mind during the songwriting process.
Do those songs, that style of songs, does that work better for you guys live as well? Or at least to have more of those, does that work better for you guys live as well?
Absolutely. That was one of the reasons too. We didn't think about anything during the first record. We just jammed on ideas and worked on mixing things we just thought went well together. And then being on stage and having festival sets, we were like, oh, okay, there could be some more up-tempo songs.
Wow, you guys discovered a lot with that debut album. First of all, you guys discovered that you kind of look like Manowar a little bit. Then you discovered that you needed more up-tempo songs. That album, was very enlightening for you guys. You guys discover a lot about yourselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, when it comes to the vocals, you have a phenomenal voice. I've said this to you before when we talked. I absolutely love the way you sing. And on this record, your vocal performance is one of the pillars of the how the whole album comes together. Singing in a band like League of Distortion, what does that give you? Like, do you have complete freedom to be who you are and try new things and not be afraid of being pigeonholed into a certain genre, if you will?
Absolutely. That is what I love most about League of Distortion. I have the complete freedom. And sometimes I don't even feel like I am making the decisions myself, but it's the song and the vibe and the energy that tells me to do what and how. And of course, I did grow throughout the process of the first record. And for me, this is what I always wanted, my own band where I can decide, I can mix musical styles, but I have the heaviness of metal because I love it. I love the energy. I love the low chords. I love metal, the chorey sound. So this is, with all the work, sometimes that gets me overwhelmed. I listen to a song and I'm like, yes, and this is why I'm doing it. And this is the reason for everything that's hard, because I can be who I am. I have the backup of my band and my producers. And it's just very fulfilling, and it's great to have this freedom.
Does your work in League of Distortion help your work in Exit Eden, or does Exit Eden help more what you do in League of Distortion?
I love to have both, because it's like you asked, you said it gives me energy. Both kind of give me energy. Some situations with Exit Eden inspire me to a song or to a other vocal style for League of Distortion. And on the other hand, I can sing a little bit more softer, a little bit more poppy, but still show my personality in my voice in Exit Eden, and also reach people for who League of Distortion might be a little bit too heavy. And that I love too. So it's cool to have both of these projects.
Both of best of both worlds, like they say.
Yes,
So
exactly.
I got to ask you this question because I was listening to this album and I was thinking about, I don't know why I was thinking about it, but I was thinking about that everybody sings in the shower. So I do. I'm sure you do as well. So if you had to pick one song from this record to be your shower go-to song, which one would it be?
Wow, good question. I caught myself, getting ready for this interview. I always actually sing for myself, and I'm like, crucify me. Like, I think that would be my shower song for some reason. I just feel me dancing in the shower and just,
It's got a good vibe to it. It's got a good vibe to it. I can see that being a prime candidate for an epic shower song. But do you sing in the shower?
sometimes, absolutely.
I get a feeling like you're singing, doing everything. You'll be doing like putting a toast or making a bagel or something like that, and and you'll be singing. Is that part of you seem to have such a great outgoing personality. Is that really who you are? Is that part of who you are?
Absolutely. It's, to be honest, in the first interviews back then in 2017 or 18 in Exit Eden, I was shy. I didn't know what to show, I didn't even know who I was back then. So noticing now, I can just sit here, talk to you. I love talking to you because you have a great energy yourself. And I have the feeling we can just have a conversation about something we both love, music, and something I've been working on so hard and wanting for so long. And that you're interested in hearing about League of Distortion, that makes me happy. And really, I have the feeling I can be who I am. And that's really, really lovely.
Yeah, you have like outside of being a phenomenal singer, you have this great aura to you that it just makes the whole world around you feel a little bit better. Like in a world that's filled with darkness, it's very hard to find people that actually shed some light into that world. And when we talked about the Exit Eden project, I got that vibe and I just got that energy that, wow, like, you don't meet everyday people that have that positivity about them, that rather look, instead of looking at other people from what they are not, I feel like you always look at people from their potential, from their best side of what they can be. And I think that also comes across in your music, especially on this record.
Thank you so much. This just meant so much to me. Thank you for, I love the way you described it with the light. That's what I want. That's what I want for people. And I think sometimes in the past people said that was naive and I can't change the world. But I think you can change the world step by step by giving people strength, by being honest, by listening to people, by seeing people, just like you just said. I try to see what someone has inside that might want to be free at some point. And that's something, that's a goal, a life goal.
Here you are, galvanizing others. I mean,
Hell yeah.
this record, like you see, the record kind of speaks for itself. Like it's a lot more than just a title. It's a lot more than just artwork. It's a lot more than just music. I honestly enjoyed listening to the album tremendously. I love the fact that you get some heavier stuff that sometimes it almost feels like industrial to a certain degree, and then you have some pop stuff as well that also allows you to shine on that side of your vocal performance. So it's a super interesting record to listen to. I had a great time.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Now we just need you guys to play a show around here so that
Oh my gosh, that would
so
be
I can
so
feel
amazing.
galvanized in person.
Ah, that would be a dream.
And that actually takes me to my last question. What plans do you guys have? The album comes out October 25th. We're getting towards the end of 2024. Do you guys have anything in the agenda for the rest of the year, maybe beginning of next year?
Yes, well, we have our first headline tour planned in November and December. So we have, this is unfortunately only going to be in Germany, but it's super special for us because it's the first time we are the headliners. We can play a whole set. We can decide on the stage and the support bands. And this is something we've been planning our asses off, and we've been throwing ideas back and forth. Is something we're really looking forward to. And yeah, and
It's going to be like during both months. So it's going to be a long tour.
no, it will only be weekenders. So it's
Okay.
going to be eight dates in the main German cities, and yeah, and it's super interesting for us to see, not having your own headline tour before. Of course, there are people at the merch saying we came only for you, but you don't know if how many people will really come for you, and that's something we're really curious about. Plus, building our league, having these shows, planning the whole show, really planning on a cool evening for people to go home and be galvanized, because that's our tour name, of course, too. It's the Galvanize Tour 2024. And yeah, we're super excited. I think it'll be so much fun.
Man, folks in Germany, they get all the breaks, I must say. So, I mean, all the tours are there, great tours, great festivals. It makes me want to move there for sure. I hope you guys have a wonderful time at this tour. I wish you guys nothing but the best. I want to remind everybody, League of Distortion Galvanize comes out October 25th on Napalm Records. The pre-order link is going to be in the description of this video. So if you guys want to go and click on that and pre-order the album, please do so. If you're in Germany and in a city that is big enough to host League of Distortion, go see them. I don't know, is Hamburg big enough? Dusseldorf, maybe?
Hamburg, Düsseldorf not, but Cologne,
Oh, Cologne, okay.
Berlin,
Or
Leipzig, Munich,
Dusseldorf.
Stuttgart.
Dusseldorf is just not big enough.
Don't tell them.
Yeah, don't tell the people in Dusseldorf. They don't need to know. They don't need to know. But go. You know what? I'll put the dates of the tour on the description of this video as well. So that way, if folks want to come and see you guys, they know exactly which dates and where you guys are playing. Anna, thank you very much for your time. It's always a pleasure and a blast to talk to you. I really enjoy speaking to you about your music. So thank you for taking the time today.
Thank you. It's great talking to you, and stay interested and stay strong. And I'm so happy that we can galvanize you a little bit with our new record.
For sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.